Now is the screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone can respond, please. Is the screen visible to you properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have scanned this document. Now is it clear? Is the screen clear for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, all of you see the fourth problem. What is the fourth problem? If capital X is a random variable, then the probability density function small fx of x equal to k into x, whereas x is ranging from 0 to 2. Okay, the density function value is k into 4 minus x when the x is ranging from 2 to 4, whereas the function value is 0 otherwise. Okay, so here probability density function is defined here for three different ranges. First range is from 0 to 2, second range is from 2 to 4, third range is no range, no values are mentioned here. Okay, so that means for other values of x the function is not defined. That is the meaning. Okay, so first of all, here what we have to find? We have to find the value of k and we have to evaluate the cumulative distribution function. We have to solve two bits. First bit is value of k, second bit is you have to evaluate cumulative distribution function. So how can we find the value of k? See the solution. How can we find the value of k? This is solution. Which property we have to use here to find the value of k? To find the value of constant, we have to use the property. Which property? In the previous classes, I told you, I explained the 5 properties of probability density function. Among those 5 properties, second property must be used to find the value of k. What is the second property? Integral minus infinity to infinity small fx of x dx is equal to 1. This is the property what we have to use to find the value of k. Okay, is it clear? But you have to change the limits of integration according to the given data. Okay, in the given data, the integration limits must be changed from 0 to 2 and 2 to 4 because for these two ranges the function is different. Okay, for the range, for the limits 0 to 2, the function value is kx, whereas for the range 2 to 4, the function value is k into 4 minus x. Okay, so here you have to write dx. I forgot to write dx. Integration must be with respect to x only. In this case, the integration must be with respect to x because the given variable is x only, na? So we have to perform integration with respect to x. Is it clear? So integral 0 to 2 kx dx plus integral 2 to 4 k into 4 minus x dx is equal to 1. Okay, there is no other range. Only 0 to 2 and 2 to 4. We have two different ranges. For the remaining values of x, the function is not defined. So the function value is 0. You need not to consider that. So consider these two ranges. Now perform the integration. Here for the first term, k is constant. K is constant. So you can write it outside the integration. So k is constant. Write it outside. Integral x dx. Integral x dx. What is the formula? Integral x power n dx is equal to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Okay, x power n plus 1 by n plus 1, that is the formula. So apply the formula. Integral x dx, x power 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1. So x square by 2. Okay, integration is over. Now we have to apply the limits in the next step. Okay, next for the second term also k is a constant. So you can write it outside the integration. So write k outside of integration. Now again here we have two terms, 4 minus x. So separate them. 4 is constant again. So write it here. Integral 1 dx means x minus integral x dx means x square by 2. So you will get 4x minus x square by 2 as the second term after applying integration. Okay. So here 4 minus x. In between 4 and x, we have minus symbol. So you can separate the terms. You have to apply integration separately. So 4 is constant. You have 1 integral 1 dx means x only minus integral x dx means x square by 2. Integral x dx means x square by 2. So integration is performed again here. So in the next step, apply the limits. First substitute upper limit, next substitute lower limit. Okay, so here k into within the brackets, substitute upper limit instead of x, 2 square by 2 minus 0 square by 2. How much? Upper limit is 2, lower limit is 0. So substitute upper limit and then lower limit. 2 square by 2 minus 0 square by 2 you will get. So 2 square by 2 means 2 gets cancelled. You will get 2 minus 0. 2 minus 0 means 2. So k into 2. That is the first term. Next, for the second term also apply the limits. K is constant. So within the brackets, you have to apply the limits. Instead of x, first substitute 4 and then substitute 2. Okay. So here, first upper limit 4 into 4, 16 minus 4 into 2, 8. 16 minus 8, you will get this 8. Okay. 16 minus 8 means you will get this 8. Okay. So 4 into upper limit minus lower limit. 4 minus 2. 4 into 2, 8. Okay. In that way also you can write. Okay. Anyway, already you know the procedure to apply the limits. So instead of x, substitute the upper limit first and then lower limit. So 4 4s are 16 minus 4 2s are 8. 16 minus 8 you will get 8. Okay. Or you may substitute like this. 4 into, instead of x you may write 4 minus 2. Upper limit minus lower limit. So 4 minus 2, 2. 2 into 4, 8. In this way also you can substitute. Minus x square by 2. For this term, apply the limits. Write this minus here. Within the brackets, apply the limits. 4 square by 2 minus 2 square by 2. 4 square by 2 minus 2 square by 2. 4 square by 2 minus 2 square by 2. How much? 4 square means 16. 16 by 2, 8 minus 2 square. 4. 4 by 2, 2. So 8 minus 2, you will get 6 here. Okay. So within the brackets, 8 minus 6, 2. Again we have 2k here. So 2k plus 2k is equal to 1. This implies 4k is equal to 1, which implies k is equal to 1 by 4. This is the value of k. Is it clear? Anybody wants to talk to me? Otherwise, please be in mute. Okay. If you want to talk to me, you can unmute yourself and then you can raise the doubt. Okay. So here, what is the value of k? K is equal to 1 by 4. That is the constant value. Okay. By applying this property, we will get the constant value k is equal to 1 by 4. Okay. Next, So here, what is the definition of probability density function after substituting the k value? So small fx of x is equal to k into x for the first range. K value is 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 into x by 4 for the range 0 less than or equal to x less than 2. Okay. Next, for the second range, substitute k equal to 1 by 4 again. So 1 by 4 into 4 minus x. This is the second range. This is the value of probability density function for the second range. Okay. Is it clear? Now, let us find the cumulative distribution function. Cumulative distribution function. How can we find the cumulative distribution function? What is the relationship between cumulative distribution function and probability density function? What is the relationship between cumulative distribution function and probability density function? Cumulative distribution function equal to integration of probability density function, isn't it? So cumulative distribution function is equal to cumulative distribution function equal to integration of probability density function. This is the formula. This is the relationship between cumulative distribution function and probability density function. So here, what we have to consider here, the limits of integration minus infinity to x. Upper limit must be x only. Don't write infinity as upper limit. Okay? Because upper limit must be x. If you put upper limit as x, then only you will get the terms of x. Here we have to calculate the cumulative distribution function. So the cumulative distribution function must be in terms of x only. It should not be a numerical value. So if you substitute infinity in place of upper limit, you will get the numerical value, or you may get infinity as answer, or you may get 0 as answer. So that is not the correct method. Already in the previous class, I told you that the upper limit must be x only, because we are finding cumulative distribution function. Cumulative distribution function must be in terms of x. That means you have to get the answer in terms of x. Answer should not be a numerical value. అర్థమవుతుందమ్మా? నేను ఆల్రెడీ ప్రీవియస్ క్లాస్లో ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చెప్పినవి కూడా అవే. మీరు అప్పర్ లిమిట్ ఇక్కడ ఎక్స్ ఎందుకు తీసుకోవాలి అంటే మీకు ఇక్కడ ఫంక్షన్ కావాల్సింది, ఫంక్షన్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తున్నారు, క్యుములేటివ్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఫంక్షన్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తున్నారు. సో ఫంక్షన్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఇట్ షుడ్ బి ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ ఆర్ ఇట్ షుడ్ బి ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ వై, లైక్ దట్. ఓకే, సో ద ఫంక్షన్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి ఎ న్యూమరికల్ వాల్యూ ఆల్వేస్. ఓకే, that's why upper limit must be x only. That's what I am saying. Okay, so here again you have to here for the two different ranges you have to calculate the cumulative distribution function, isn't it? For the two different ranges, what are the ranges? From 0 to 2 and from 2 to 4. For these two different ranges, you have to calculate the cumulative distribution function separately. Okay, separately, because probability density function is also defined for the two different ranges. That's why you have to calculate the cumulative distribution function also for the two different ranges of x. Okay, is it clear? So here, first consider the first range for 0 less than or equal to x less than 2 for the first range. So capital Fx of x equal to integral 0 to x. Upper limit must be x here. 0 to x only you have to write. Okay, 0 to 2 is not correct here. Okay, you have to write 0 to x only. For 0 to x, for this range, the value of probability density function is x by 4. So you have to substitute x by 4 here. Okay, integral 0 to x by 4 dx. 1 by 4 is constant again, you can write it outside. So integral x dx means x square by 2. So you will get 1 by 4 into x square by 2. Okay, integration is performed here. You have to apply the limits 0 to x. Here 4 2's. In the denominator, you have to write x because 4 2's are 8. Okay, what about numerator? X square. You have to apply the limits for this term. So x square 0 to x limits. First substitute upper limit. So x square minus 0 square. X square minus 0 square. You will get x square only, na? That's why the numerator is x square. So the answer is x square by 8 for the first range. Cumulative distribution function equal to x square by 8 for the first range. What about second range? 2 to 4. What about second range? 2 to 4. Cumulative distribution function equal to, here the given range is 2 to 4. Okay, so here you have to write 2 to x here. Upper limit must be x only. You should not write 4. Okay, you have to write upper limit as x only. So 2 to x you have to write. Okay, this is cumulative distribution function. That's why you have to add the previous values also. What are the previous values of this range? 0 to 2 only, na? So here you have to consider this range also. నేను ఇందాక మీ క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ చేసినప్పుడే చెప్పానమ్మా, క్యూములేటివ్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఫంక్షన్ అంటే మీకు ఇచ్చిన రేంజ్ కాకుండా, అంటే మీకు ఇచ్చిన రేంజ్ 2 to 4 కానీ 4 రాయకూడదు, అప్పర్ లిమిట్ x రాయాలి. ఎందుకంటే మనం ఫంక్షన్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి. సో అప్పర్ లిమిట్ మస్ట్ బి x ఓన్లీ ఇన్ ద సెకండ్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్. వాట్ అబౌట్ ఫస్ట్ పార్ట్? ద ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్. What is the previous range? 0 to 2 only. So you have to consider the previous range also. For the previous range, the function value is x by 4. For the present range, the function value is 1 by 4 into 4 minus x. Okay. Probability density function is x by 4 for the range 0 to 2. Okay. For the second range 2 to x, you have to write the probability density function as 1 by 4 into 4 minus x. Okay. So here, now perform the integration and then apply the limits. Here 1 by 4 is constant, so you can write it outside. Integral x dx means x square by 2. Okay, already we have 1 by 4 here. 4 into 2, you will get 8 only, so denominator is 8. Integral x means x square by 2. Okay, already we have 4 in the denominator. 4 into 2 becomes 8. Okay, what about x square? You have to apply the limits from 0 to 2. X square, for this term, you have to apply the limits. 2 square minus 0 square. 2 square minus 0 square. Those are the limits. Okay. Anyhow, limits అనేవి నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ లో అప్లై చేస్తాం మనం, మీకు జనరల్ గా చెప్తున్నాను. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ వాట్ అబౌట్ సెకండ్ టర్మ్? పర్ఫార్మ్ ద ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ ఫర్ ద సెకండ్ పార్ట్ ఆల్సో. 1 by 4 is constant, so you can write it outside. Okay, integral 4 minus x dx. Again here we have two terms. 4 is constant. Integral 1 dx means x. Okay, so 4x you will get minus integral x dx, x square by 2. So integration is performed. In the next step you have to apply the limits. Here integration is performed in this step. In the next step apply the limits. After applying the limits, by taking the LCM and by solving this, you will get this expression: x minus x square by 8 minus 1. X minus x square by 8 minus 1. Okay, is it clear? సో ఇదంతా చాలా సింపుల్ అమ్మా, బట్ ఇక్కడ మనకి డిఫరెన్స్ ఎక్కడ వచ్చింది అంటే, ఇక్కడ క్యూములేటివ్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఫంక్షన్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు మనం ఫస్ట్ తీసుకున్న రేంజ్ 0 to 2, కానీ అప్పర్ లిమిట్ మనం ఎక్సే పెట్టాలి, 2 పెట్టకూడదు, అదొకటి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. నెక్స్ట్ మనం తీసుకున్న రేంజ్ 2 to 4. సో అందుకే మనం ఏం రాయాలి ఇక్కడ, 2 to x అని రాయాలి. ఇక్కడ కూడా 4 రాయకూడదు, x రాయాలి అప్పర్ లిమిట్. ఓకే, ఇది క్యూములేటివ్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఫంక్షన్ కాబట్టి మనకి ఇంకా ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్ ఏమన్నా ఉంటే అది కూడా యాడ్ చేసుకోవాలి. ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్ అంటే అకార్డింగ్ టు ద గివెన్ డేటా 0 to 2 ఈస్ ద ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్ ఫర్ ద ఫంక్షన్. ఓకే, సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు యాడ్ ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్ ఆల్సో. వేరాజ్ ఇక్కడ పైన ఏమైనా ఉందా ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్? 0 to 2నే కదా మనకు ఇచ్చిన ఫస్ట్ రేంజ్, ఇంకా అంతకన్నా ముందు ఇంకో రేంజ్ ఏమి లేదు కాబట్టి ఇంకో టర్మ్ ఏమి యాడ్ అవ్వలేదు ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, మనకి ఇచ్చిందే స్టార్టింగ్ 0 to 2 కదా, స్టార్టింగ్ ఇచ్చిందే 0 to 2 రేంజ్, అంతకన్నా ముందు ఇంకో రేంజ్ ఏమి లేదు, ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్ ఏమి లేదు కాబట్టి. సో ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్ ఏమి లేదు కాబట్టి మనకి ఇంకొక టర్మ్ యాడ్ అవ్వలేదు అక్కడ పైన, యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గా ఇచ్చిన రేంజ్ ప్రకారం చేసాం. బట్ ఇక్కడ సెకండ్ రేంజ్ తీసుకున్నప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్ ఉంది కాబట్టి దానికి ఆ ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్ కూడా కన్సిడర్ చేసి చేసాం. ఓకే, సో మీరు తీసుకున్న రేంజ్ కి ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్ ఏదైనా ఉందా లేదా చెక్ చేసుకోవాలి. యూ హ్యావ్ టు చెక్ వెదర్ దేర్ ఆర్ ఎనీ ప్రీవియస్ వాల్యూస్ ఆర్ నాట్, వెదర్ దేర్ ఆర్ ఎనీ ప్రీవియస్ రేంజ్ ఆఫ్ వాల్యూస్ ఆర్ నాట్. If there is any previous range of values, you have to add cumulatively. Okay, otherwise you need not to add. Okay, for this range there is no previous range because the function is defined from this, starting from this range 0 to 2 only. Okay, so there is no previous range for this, that's why you need not to consider here. Simply you can solve by taking the given range. But whereas in the next case, the given range is 2 to 4. So you have to consider 2 to x as limits. But there is a previous range for this range. What is the previous range? 0 to 2. So you have to consider previous range also. Okay? Is it clear? Okay. Next topic. Let us discuss next topic. Conditional distribution function. Conditional distribution function. So first of all, what is meant by conditional probability? What is meant by conditional probability? Here formula is given for you. Probability of A given B is equal to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B, where probability of B not equal to 0. So this is the formula for conditional probability. Okay, conditional probability of the event A given B was defined as probability of A given B equal to probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B, where the probability of B value must not be 0, because if it is 0, the denominator becomes 0. If the denominator is 0, automatically the conditional probability value is infinity. That is not a correct value of probability. Okay, so here this is the formula for conditional probability. Okay, now we can apply the same concept to the distribution functions and density functions also. That's why the name is indicated as conditional distribution function. Okay, so conditional distribution function means you have to apply the conditional probability concept to the distribution function. Okay, already we know the distribution function. We know, all of you already discussed in the previous classes about distribution and density functions. Now we have to apply the conditional probability concept to the distribution and density functions. Okay, so all of you see this. We have to consider two events, capital A and capital B. Okay, the capital A be an event capital X less than or equal to small x. Okay, if capital A and capital B are the two events, capital A and capital B are the two events. First, capital A, the event capital A is defined as capital X less than or equal to small x. This is one event. This is considered as an event A. Okay, for the random variable capital X. Okay, so here let capital A is the event which is defined as within the braces capital X less than or equal to small x. This is one event for the random variable capital X. Okay, so how can we apply the conditional probability for this? Probability of A given B equal to probability of A intersection B by probability of B. That is the formula. So apply here. Instead of A, what you have to write? Instead of A, what you have to write? This one, capital X less than or equal to small x. This one you have to write instead of A, because A is defined as capital X less than or equal to small x. That's why substitute capital X less than or equal to small x in place of A. Then you will get this formula. Okay, probability of capital X less than or equal to small x given B is equal to probability of capital X less than or equal to small x intersection B divided by probability of B. ఓకే, ఏం లేదు, ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం చేసామంటే క్యాపిటల్ ఏ ప్లేస్ లో ఏం రాసాము, క్యాపిటల్ ఎక్స్ లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు స్మాల్ ఎక్స్ రాసాం అంతే. ఇక్కడ పైన ఉన్న ఫార్ములాలో మనం ఏం రాసాము, క్యాపిటల్ ఏ ఎక్కడైతే ఉందో దాని ప్లేస్ లో ఈ ఈవెంట్ రాసాం మనం, ఎందుకంటే క్యాపిటల్ ఏని మనం ఇలా డిఫైన్ చేసుకున్నాం కాబట్టి. ఓకే, సో క్యాపిటల్ ఏ is defined as capital X less than or equal to small x. So in this formula, probability of A given B equal to probability of A intersection B by probability of B. In this formula, you have to substitute capital X less than or equal to small x. Okay, so that is the difference. Now, what are the properties of conditional distribution function? Conditional distribution function. Conditional distribution function can be applied to any type of random variable. How many types of random variables we have? 3 types. Already I explained classification of random variables. We have 3 types of random variables: continuous, discrete, mixed. Continuous random variable, discrete random variable, mixed random variable. So for all these types of random variables, conditional distribution function concept can be applied. Okay, now let us see the properties. See here, what are the properties of distribution function? What are the properties of cumulative distribution function? We have 4 properties for cumulative distribution function. So whatever the properties we studied in case of cumulative distribution function, the same properties can be applied to conditional distribution function also. Okay, so here whatever the properties that can be applied to normal distribution function, the same properties are also applicable for conditional distribution function. Okay, so all of you see the first property. First of all, conditional distribution function can be represented with capital Fx of small x given B. Generally, normal cumulative distribution function can be represented with capital Fx of x, isn't it? But this is a conditional distribution function. That's why you have to write given B here. Okay, within the brackets you have to write slash B. Slash means given. Okay, so capital Fx of small x given B. That is the notation to represent conditional distribution function. Okay, normal distribution function can be represented with capital Fx of x, but whereas a conditional distribution function can be represented with capital Fx of small x given B. Okay, so here it is mentioned. This is the notation. So all of you see the properties. What is the first property? Capital Fx of minus infinity given B is equal to, okay, In the properties of distribution function, already we studied capital Fx of minus infinity is equal to 0. Capital Fx of minus infinity is 0. Okay, but here this is a conditional distribution function. That's why you have to write given b within the braces. Given b. Okay, next see the second property. Conditional distribution function of infinity given b is equal to 1. Already we know this property also. Cumulative distribution function of infinity is 1. Okay, already we know that capital Fx of infinity is equal to 1. Cumulative distribution function of infinity is 1. But this is a conditional distribution. That's why within the brackets you have to write given b, infinity given b. That is the difference. Okay. So next see the third property. Conditional distribution function must lies in between 0 and 1. Conditional distribution function value must lie in between 0 and 1. Okay. Here next fourth property, if x1 is less than x2, if x1 is less than x2, that means here we are considering two different values of x, small x1 and small x2, two different values. Okay, if this condition is satisfied, that means small x1 is less than small x2, then conditional distribution function of x1 must be less than or equal to conditional distribution function of x2. Okay, that is the property here. Here we need not see the proper proofs. Okay, we need not to prove these properties. Okay, if you want the proofs, I will provide another paper after solving the properties. Okay, here proofs are not important for this concept, conditional distribution. Whereas for the cumulative distribution function and probability density function, the properties are very, very important. We have to prove the properties also. Okay, in the exam they will ask prove the properties of cumulative distribution function, state and prove the properties of probability density function, like that they will ask. But for the conditional distribution function, proofs are not important. That's why I'm not explaining. Okay. So here see the fifth property. Probability of small x1 less than capital X less than or equal to x2 given b is equal to capital Fx of x2 given b minus capital Fx of x1 given b. Okay. Here in case of cumulative distribution function, we know this property. Probability of x1 less than capital X less than or equal to x2 is equal to capital Fx of x2 minus capital Fx of x1. Already we know this property. In the properties of cumulative distribution function, I already explained about this property with the help of proof also. Okay, this property was already proved in cumulative distribution function. Probability of small x1 less than capital X less than or equal to x2 is equal to capital Fx of x2 minus capital Fx of x1. Here this, but here the same property can be applied to conditional distribution also. How can we apply the same property to the conditional distribution function? You have to write given b. Given b. Okay. So given b, you have to write on the left hand side. On the right hand side also, Fx of x2 given b minus Fx of x1 given b. You have to write given b. Given b means the event B must be satisfied before occurring or happening the event A. That is what the conditional probability is. Okay. Here, probability of A given B means the event B must be satisfied before occurring or happening the event A. Okay, that is what the conditional probability is. Is it clear? Next, similarly, up to now we discussed conditional distribution function. Now let us discuss conditional density function. Conditional density function. What is the relationship between density function and distribution function? Density function equal to derivative of distribution function. Here the relationship is given for you. Okay. Conditional density function equal to derivative of conditional distribution function. Okay, whatever it may be. This formula is valid for normal distribution and density functions also. This is a conditional density function. For this concept also the same formula is applicable. Okay. So here density function equal to derivative of distribution function. Similarly, conditional density function equal to derivative of conditional distribution function. Okay. So here conditional density function equal to derivative of conditional distribution function. This is the relationship between conditional density function and conditional distribution function. Okay. Now again we have properties for this concept also. What are the properties of conditional density function? Okay. So here already for the normal density function we discussed 5 properties. Those 5 properties are also applicable for conditional density function. Okay. So whatever the properties we studied or we discussed in the previous classes for distribution and density functions, the same properties can be applicable for conditional distribution function and conditional density functions also. Okay, that is the important point what you have to remember. Okay, is it clear? So for normal cumulative distribution function, we discussed 4 properties. For probability density function also, we discussed 5 properties. Okay, so all those properties are applicable for conditional distribution and conditional density functions also respectively. Okay, is it clear? See the properties. If you want proofs, I will give proofs also for this. Okay, so these are the four properties given for you for conditional density function. Okay, next can we solve fifth problem? Is the screen visible to you? Anyone please respond.
Yes, ma'am.
నిన్నట్లాగా ఏం లేదు కదమ్మా బ్లర్గా.
లేదు మేడం బాగా.
ఇది బాగానే ఉంది కదా?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
ఓకే, సో ఫిఫ్త్ ప్రాబ్లం ఒకసారి చూడండి అమ్మా. ఇది చాలా చిన్న ప్రాబ్లం, ఇది ఒక్కటి సాల్వ్ చేసి క్లాస్ ఎండ్ చేసేద్దాం. ఫిఫ్త్ ప్రాబ్లం ఒకసారి చూడండి. సో సీ ద ఫిఫ్త్ ప్రాబ్లం. ఏ కంటిన్యూస్ random variable capital X has the distribution function capital Fx of x equal to 0 if small x less than or equal to 1. Next, k into x minus 1 whole power 4 if 1 less than small x less than or equal to 3. Okay, the function value is 1 if small x greater than 3. Okay, so this is the given data. This is the given distribution function. Here distribution function is given for you. So for this function we have to find PDF, probability density function, and also we have to find the k value. Okay, so up to now we solved various problems. Okay, in all those problems probability density function was given for you and you are asked to calculate the cumulative distribution function. But here the problem is reverse. The cumulative distribution function is given for you and you have to find the probability density function. Okay, so here this problem is different from the previous 4 problems, because in the previous 4 problems, the probability density function was given for you and you are asked to calculate the cumulative distribution function. Whereas here, cumulative distribution function is given for you, and you have to calculate the probability density function and then find the value of k. Okay. So here, how can we find probability density function? What is the relationship between probability density function and cumulative distribution function? Probability density function is equal to derivative of cumulative distribution function. Okay. Isn't it? Probability density function is equal to derivative of cumulative distribution function. So you have to derive the given function. So what is the derivative of the cumulative distribution function for the first range? What is the derivative of cumulative distribution function for the second range? What is the derivative of cumulative distribution function for the third range? Okay. So for the first range, the function value is 0. What is the derivative of 0? 0. Next, for the second range, the function is given as k into x minus 1 whole power 4. What is the derivative of this? K is a constant, so you need not to think about it. What is the derivative of d by dx of x minus 1 whole power 4? What is the derivative of this? Derivative of x minus 1 whole power 4. What is the derivative of x power n? What is the derivative of x power n? X power, tell me, what is the derivative of x power n? N into x power n minus 1, isn't it? Derivative of, here I am writing the formula also, derivative of x power n is equal to n into x power n minus 1. That is the formula. Here, instead of x, we have x minus 1. So apply the same formula. N value is 4 here. So 4 into x minus 1 whole power 4 minus 1 means 3. Okay. So 4 minus 1 means 3. Okay. So n into x power n minus 1. Instead of x, we have x minus 1. So let us derive this term again. Okay. So n means 4. N into x power n minus 1. N minus 1 means 3. So here, what is the derivative of x minus 1 again? Again, you have to derive x minus 1, isn't it? What is the derivative of x minus 1 with respect to x? Derivative of x minus 1 with respect to x. Derivative of x is 1 minus derivative of constant is 0. So 1 minus 0 is nothing but 1 only. So 4 into x minus 1 whole cube into 1. Okay, so 4 into x minus 1 whole cube into 1. Already we have k here constant. So 4k into x minus 1 whole cube. This is for the second range. What about third range? For the third range, the cumulative distribution function value is 1. So what is the derivative of 1? Constant derivative, 0. So this is the function. Already time over. Let us continue in the next class.